Alright, it's showtime! Kamusta po? Ayan, welcome everyone to the greatest show, wonderful show, best show in the world, best political podcast. Welcome back, wonderful people, amazing people, beautiful people, beautiful people. Alright guys, welcome back dito sa pinaka-paborito nyong Bardagulian, Konyotic, yan, masubstansya, deep dive podcast. Booyaka siya. Please continue to support deep dive on different platforms, especially on Spotify. Doon naman sa ating mga followers on different platforms, including mga ka-cool pals natin. Abangan na yan, early December, we shoot reunion na naman tayo dyan with our cool pal friends. And may mga niluto tayo, mga bagong collaborations. Shoutout din sa ating mga kaibigan dyan, including mga TikTokers. Yan, mga ka-TikTokers dyan. Si Ellie San Fernando, numero 1 political vlogger / TikToker. TikToker. Vlogger, sorry about that. Number 1, numero 1, TikToker, vlogger dyan. Maraming salamat for joining us a while ago. At kanina, of course, speaking of TikTok, siguro kung hindi na nakita niyan, malaking kawalan sa inyo guys kung hindi na nakita yung dance number na ginawa natin. So I'm officially launching my TikTok career. Alright? Ito talagang ito talaga. Ito. That's it. Louie. That's it. That's it. Okay. Tama na. Baka mawalan tayo ng respeto sa sarili natin. Alam ko naman, kayo wala na, hopeless na, pero at least tayo naman, konting tiwala sa sarili naman, baka mawala. So, officially guys, kick off na natin yung TikTok career natin. So, yung mga hindi pa nag-follow sa atin sa TikTok, yan, yung mga minamahal natin dyan, Richard Haydarian 007. Hindi pa natin verify yan kasi yung mga walang yan sa TikTok, kaya ayaw sa atin, galit sa atin, natin binabash yung China TikTok na yan. But anyways, di ko dala yung phone na, kasi burner phone ang ginagamit ko sa TikTok dahil zero ang tiwala ko sa anong gagawin ng China sa datos ko. Not that 100% tiwala tayo sa mga Amerikano, but I'm just saying, there are levels, diba? There are levels dito, diba? Parang BBM level, Digong level, Trump level, so may levels din yan, although medyo may mga ka-unit team naman dyan. Alright, today, pag-usapan natin, booyaka siya. Balikan natin ito, bromance, love is in the air, wonderful people. Yan, nagkaroon ng conversation between Bongbong Marcos, greatest president, wonderful president, and of course, the greatest, the most amazing, the most capable, make America great again, Donald Trump. Nagkaroon sila ng meeting with millions and millions of fans, millions of people watching them. So, pag-usapan natin yan dahil yung mga ka-DDS natin ay akala nila Donald Trump with those hands will, di ko sinabi maliit ang kamay niya, but Donald Trump with those hands, biglang tapilok tuloy tayo. Wait. Donald Trump, greatest guy. Liligtas daw niya si Digong with those hands, with those very capable hands, very big hands. He's gonna save Donald Trump, right? So, sorry mga ka-DDS, just as I told you, Donald Trump doesn't care about Tatay Digong, if ever he cared at all. Nagkataon lang back in the day, Digong, interesting, medyo populist, medyo presidente na ngayon hindi na. At speaking of mga Dutertes, medyo alanganin po yung situation niya dahil buyaka siya. ICC, may development po tayo sa ICC. Yun. So yung mga nagsasabi sa ICC na mahina, nagdadalawang isip, blah blah blah. ICC has finalized itong warrants of arrest niya against not just anyone but against Bibi Netanyahu, among other leaders, including of course yung mga buhay pa na Hamas leaders, and of course this is also in condemnation of the horrible atrocities that were committed on October 7. So hindi lang ito about one side of the story, right? Nevertheless guys, may implication yan because if mga Duterte, mga ka-DDS ang in-expect nila na itong ICC ay walang walang kokones yan, walang mangyari. Well, mag-iisip kayo ngayon dahil as expected, the United States of America is threatening the ICC with sanctions. But ICC wouldn't have done it if without expecting. Especially, remember, this decision was made, these warrants of arrest were cleared and na-reject yung jurisdiction question. So, similar sa ginawa ng mga Duterte, kinwestiyon din ng jurisdiction ng ICC but that was struck down. So, buyaka siya. We're moving in a certain direction na pag-usapan natin very shortly. Now, before we begin with Donald Trump and Bongbong Marcos, eto guys, congratulations! Team Cone, greatest guy! Wonderful coach. Amazing coach. Team Cone, eto na guys. Natalo na po natin ang New Zealand. Bago tayo nakauwi sa bahay, medyo fourth quarter na natalo tayo ng konti sa New Zealand. Pero eto na guys, buyaka siya. FIBA Asia Cup 2025 qualifiers. Natalo po ng Pilipinas ang New Zealand 93-89. Oh, by the way, yes. Congratulations also to Indonesia for almost making it to the World Cup. Mukhang Saudi Arabia medyo alanganin na. So, if Saudi Arabia beat Argentina and Indonesia beat Saudi Arabia, ayan, ibig sabihin ang Indonesia na po ang best in the world. Okay, anyway, balikan natin yan. First of all, let's talk about this. The greatest alliance. Okay guys, ito parati ko sinasabi na talaga yung mga ibang ka-DDS natin ay either walang alam sa mundo masyado, wala silang naiintindihan sa mga pangyayari sa mundo. Yung mga iba naman, kaysa makinig sa mga katulad natin na medyo may alam sa buhay, medyo may nakausap ng mga chancellors and prime ministers at presidente, yung mga pinapakinggan nila yung mga JAPEX na mga medyo, alam mo na, yung mga medyo bayaran na patay gutom, nakailan na amo na, patay gutom pa rin. Kunyari, expert pa sa international law yung iba, wala naman na legit na publication, zero pa rin sa Google Scholar, yung mga nagfi-feeling na expert, wala namang matinong eskwela na nagre-recruit sa kanila, yung mga ganon. Tapos yung iba naman, English lang, wala namang sense sinasabi, feeling magaling, wala naman nag-interview sa kanila na matino, kahit isa, yun lang, or kung mag-interview naman sa kanya, ang introduction sa kanila, Duterte vlogger, yung mga So anyway, dahil po dito sa mga kaibigan natin ayaw makinig dun sa mga totoong nagmamahal sa buhay, totoong may alam konti sa buhay. So hindi natin may sisisi yung mga iba na unfortunate medyo kulang sa pag-intindi sa mundo. Kaya medyo nauuto or nakikinig kung saan-saan, including dito sa pinaka-ewan na argument. Medyo level na Mary Grace Piatos level of argument ito, no? So kasing JAPEX nung mga signature na nakita natin kahapon na pinakita natin, kasing JAPEX nung mga Mary Grace Piatos na alam mo na ghost employee ba matawag. Ganon din ka ewan yung mga argumento ng iba, including yung argument na kung nanalo si Donald Trump ay happy times na for Digong. Na Donald Trump will come and save Digong. Ganyan kababaw po ang pag-intindi ng mga ibang tao sa mundo or ganon ka-delusional. Or baka naman dahil binayaran yung iba, kailangan talaga nila magsinungaling at gumawa ng kwento out of nothing. Now, of course, it doesn't mean na tayo ay perfecto lahat ng sinasabi natin, lahat ng prediction natin ay tama or mali. Pag-usapan natin ng ICC shortly. Yes, hindi nangyayari itong September, but the direction of the wind naman is clear naman. And marami naman sa predict natin ay nagkatotoo. Including maging purong kapalpakan ng mangyari kay Digong, totoo naman nangyari. Si BBM ay maging mas assertive sa West Philippine Sea, totoo naman nangyari. Marami naman tayong publication dyan na pwede niyong basahin. Hindi katulad ng iba, yung mga ibang bayaran na vlogger, hanggang post-post lang social media, walang legit na publication. Yan. Kaya tuloy ngayon, hindi ko na alam ginagawa nila sa buhay nila. Anyway, at kinakagat yung kamay ng dati nilang amo. Anyway. Anyway, medyo nagmamaga vibes na tayo, no? Medyo balahura vibes. So, yon guys, nagkaroon ng conversation finally between President Bongbong Marcos, greatest president. Baka yung mga kadides, di na naman guess yung mga sarcasm na sabi na si Darren, sabi na greatest daw si BBM, yung mga gano'n. Okay. Ito. So, kanina, nagkaroon ng conversation at na-confirm ni BBM at hindi katulad ng Parabowo, yung mga trying hard president ng Indonesia na video pa yung usapan nila ni Trump tas nakakaya puro siyang sir. Naka 10 times na nagsiser siya kay Trump. At sir mo, bakit boss mo ba yan? Non-aligned pa daw kayo, di ba, Indonesia. Tapos yung Thaksin sa Thailand, nagpapakute din na picture talagang showbiz, 'di ba? Showbiz. Ito naman kay BBM. In fairness kay BBM, guys, pumunta naman sa mga yung mga lugar na biktima ng mga sunod-sunod ng bagyo. So, joining from Catanduanes, President Marcos Jr. confirmed to the media that indeed nag-usap sila ni Donald Trump.
Affected by Trump's proposed mass deportations.
Kausap ko siya kaninang umaga at naaalala naman siya ang Pilipinas. Ang kaibigan niya talaga, mother ko. Kilala niya yung mother ko. Kinukumusta niya. Express to him our continuing desire to strengthen that relationship between our two countries, which is a relationship that is as deep as can possibly be, because it has been for a very long time. And I also reminded the President-elect that ang mga Pilipino sa Amerika, overwhelmingly, naging binoto nila si Trump. I'm sure that
Actually, hindi yata totoo yan. Sa pagkaalam ko, yung pre-election poll said that more than 70% of Philippines supported actually Kamala Harris. But anyway, yes, among Asian Americans and minorities, pinakamalakas yatang suporta ng mga Filipino Americans. Yun, alam natin yan kasi kasama yung mga ibang kamag-anak natin dyan. Hindi na tayo magsalita. Shoutout dyan sa tita natin sa Nevada, sa tito natin sa...
naalala na yan pag tayo ay nagkita kami.
Yeah.
President Marcos
Okay.
calling.
Anyway, so obviously, there were a couple of things that were discussed between President Marcos Jr. and Donald Trump within that more or less congratulatory exchanges. Sabi ni Marcos Jr., it was a very good call. I'm sorry, this is Marcos Jr. It was a very good call. It was a very friendly call, very productive. Ang daming very good, very friendly, very productive. Dapat dinagdag ni BBM, very tremendously productive, hugely productive. And I'm glad I was able to do it. I think President-elect Trump was happy to hear from the Philippines. Sinabi niya dun sa kanyang, sinabi niya sa kanyang Tagalog bar English. Siguro nung tumawag si BBM at Trump, Tagalog bar English. Tagalog, yeah, okay. We continue to talk about the relationship between the alliance between the U.S. and the Philippines, and I expressed to him our continuing desire to strengthen the relationship between our two countries, which is a relationship that is as deep as it could possibly be. Yan, tapos may claim pa siya na ekek na, meron pa siyang claim na, Philippines over, hindi totoo yan. Sa pagkaalam ko, majority pa rin ng Philams ay bumoto kay Kamala Harris, but whatever. President Marcos also made it clear na wala silang pinag-usapan ng mga seryosong bagay, including yung pwedeng epekto sa mga Pilipino na TNT. base sa mga analysis na nakita ko, mukhang yung mga tatamaan ng mga communities ay yung mga Haiti, El Salvador, Costa Rica, mostly Central American countries. Yun ang matatamaan, unfortunately, nung first wave ng crackdown. And base sa some of the logistical analysis I've seen, including from U.S. Homeland Security and all experts, up to 100 to 200,000 people could be deported within the first 100 days of Donald Trump presidency. That's logistically possible if the ICE and the Homeland Services and all be fully mobilized as is expected under a Trump MAGA administration. So, hindi priority yung mga Filipino-Americans or Filipinos in America na hindi pa ganun kaligal, but nevertheless, who knows saan tayo pupunta at some point in time. What's interesting here is that si Donald Trump immediately tinanong niya daw, how is Imelda? How is Imelda? And speaking of that, yun ang sinasabi ko dun sa mga ibang ka-DDS natin. Sana naman nag-research kayo. Sana naman bago kayo nagmaganda at nakinig dun sa mga bayaran na vloggers or mga walang alam na vloggers. Ayan, iyak na naman tong isang mga na to. Sige lang, ban natin itong mga walang yan. Alam mo, yung mga ibang ka-DDS natin, kung wala naman kayong masabing matino, kaysa mag-insulto lang kayo at mag-block kayo, mag-improve naman kayo ng sarili nyo, magbabasa kayo ng konti, mag-research kayo, baka naman mamulat pa kayo sa buhay, para hindi kayo mapaya ng ganyan, na tuwang-tuwa kayo manalo si Trump. Si Trump walang pake sa inyo, kaya walang pake kay Digong, alright? Wala siyang pake sa mga losers na wala na sa power. Hindi ko na alam. But more than that, Trump at saka mga Marcoses, malalim ang relasyon ng mga yan. First of all, beshi si Donald Trump at si Imelda Marcos back in the day, the heydays of, partying and social life and the whole socialite gathering. If you go to the New York Times, you look at the society pictures, andyan parati si Imelda, Trump, kasama sila. Of course, there's also allegation daw na isa sa mga ari-arian ng mga Marcoses na I'm sure nakuha naman nila sa tamang paraan dahil yung mga kadides, di na naman gets ng sarcasm. Explain na naman natin na legit naman lahat ng di ba? So talagang beshi talaga tong mga Trump, mga Marcoses at allegedly pero siguro naman kung totoo yun, sa sipag at tiyaga nila na bilihan. Apparently yung isang sikat na building, itong yung Crown ba yan? Yung the Crown building ay nabili din ng mga Marcoses back in the day. Alright, so ito isa pang Trump building yan. Medyo, in fairness, medyo maganda-ganda siya. So, these are the ties that bind. Anong pang tapat ni Digong dyan? May Trump Tower ba kayo dyan sa di ba? Diba? Beshi ba? Magka-social circle ba ang mga Dutertes and Trumps? Come on, guys. It's not even close. So, hindi ko talaga maintindihan yung delusional, na nagfi-feeling iba na pag si Trump manala. So, that just tells you how poorly understood ang mundo from the DDS perspective. Now, of course, nakachamba yung matanda nung 2015-16, naging presidente. Okay, gets. You had your 6 years, nag-feeling kayo na kung sino kayo. Ayan, wala na kayo. Di wala na kayo, di ba? At hindi katulad ng iba, hindi kailangan maging presidente or in power to actually be influential and meet the Henry Kissingers or meet the prime ministers of this world. Yun lang sinasabi ko. Alright? Wala akong sinasabi Yun lang sinasabi ko. Parang kaninang pa tayo ng babalawura dito. Kasama kasi natin mga ka-tiktokers natin. Now, balikan natin itong issue na ito. So, news alert. No, Donald Trump is not gonna come to Digong's rescue. Donald Trump doesn't care about Duterte. Now, by some magic, Duterte and Trump will bump into each other and have a conversation. Assuming Trump will have time for Digong, I'm sure Trump will say something nice. He's schmoozing ganun, walang problema yung ibang tao dyan. But, is he gonna put his thumb on the scale and put pressure on BBM and all of that? So, dito mo makita na gaano kahina yung pag-intindi sa geopolitics and also in terms of personal politics and also in terms of understanding world leaders. Yung mga ibang kasama natin dyan. So, no offense, but medyo yung league nyo, no offense no offense. So, bago kayo magpatawa sa ibang tao or tawanan niyo ibang tao na ayusin nyo naman. Medyo mag-level up naman kayo ng konti. Alam mo, suggestion ko, sana balang araw, makakuha kayo ng totoong eksperto, yung medyo may legit, medyo may publication, medyo may nirespeto sa mundo, medyo... And then siguro, pero wala pansin niyo, wala kayong makukuha kasi, hindi okay, anyway. Delulu. Okay, millions and millions. Okay, alright. Okay, tama na yan. Baka magagalit yung mga kamaga natin. Mga magalicious. Okay. Now, let's go to the next topic. Because if you're Duterte, first of all, no, hindi kayo i-rescue ng Donald Trump. Now, siguro umaasa pa rin yung mga Duterte sa but Donald Trump will cut a deal and Donald Trump will Donald Trump will be friend with China and cut a deal and the Philippines will be thrown under the bus and then Digong will be brought back kasi love sila ng China, mga ganun. Ang dami mga weird na arguments na nakikita natin na nakakatawa. Alright, now sorry again, but it's not like like Donald Trump will 24/7 handle foreign policy and etc. and actually the foreign policy etc. Actual running of the foreign policy will be run by people like, guess what? Marco Rubio. Alright, Marco Rubio. And let's talk about Marco Rubio. He will be the next Secretary of State. In fact, halos sa lahat ng WWE, RFK, Tulsi Gabbard, style of appointments ni Trump. Ito yung taong pinaka-standard na almost 100%. Dating senador din yan, outgoing senador yan, na ma-clear sa confirmation. I won't be surprised that he'll have the highest votes, including votes from the Democratic counterpart. As you know, Marco Rubio is someone who has dito, as I explained, Marco Rubio is also someone who has built relationship with a lot of Filipino leaders, including people like Senator Trillanes. So kung umasa na naman yung mga kadidiyas natin na things under Trump will go fantastic for them. Again, of course, I mean, yes, of course, we never know exactly what will happen in the future. Of course, it's a wild world. Yeah. Pero napaka suntok sa buwan kasi minsan yung mga, 'di ba? So just to put things into context, kung yung mga kadidiyas natin we're hoping na that things will go fantastic and all under Donald Trump. Not sure about that. So in fact, ang matutuwa ngayon sa mga appointments ay mga katulad ni sweet naman ni Marco Rubio at saka mga Florida boys. Yan. Ay mga katulad ni Trillanes. Alright? Okay. So again, these are the ties that will bind. In fact, it goes beyond that. Marco Rubio, unlike yung mga ibang trapo na ganun, hindi naman siya nagde-decide based on friendship lang. Nagde-decide din siya based on ideology, based on perspective. In fact, interestingly, speaking of perspective, I suggest everyone to check this interesting article by Marco Rubio, right, on the national interest, where I used to also write. This is Nixon, Nixon Kissinger related publication. Dun sa mga kasama natin dyan, ipopost din natin yan. So, the title of the article is, Why the Philippines Matters to America. Written last year lang yan, August 23. Now, let me just give you some of the key quotes here, which are fascinating, which I think are very, very instructive in terms of understanding the likely direction of American foreign policy. So, isa dito, guys, na I want you guys to check. This is very, very important. So, he was still a senator here. Some were wondering if he will run even as a president. Some were wondering that, because he was also a front runner to be the vice president of Trump, but it looks like he didn't want to be just the background noise guy, or he didn't want to be just the mini-me guy. He wanted to be his own guy. And as a State Department chief, he will have tremendous amount of influence in steering the direction of American foreign policy, right? So, sobrang mahalaga yan, guys. So, dito kung titignan nyo kay Marco Rubio, he's absolutely clear na gaano kamahalaga ang Pilipinas, alright, for the United States. And this is not like, tulungan natin mga Pilipino dahil kawawa sila. No, this is because the Philippines is an important country. It is in an important region, right? It is a frontline state, and it is a country that needs a lot of support, all right? In fact, Rubio was very clear that should the United States, for instance, right? Ito, I'll just show you some of the quotes from Marco Rubio for you to guys appreciate it. Matagal na tayo hindi nag-foreign policy analysis dito sa platforms natin, but I actually, you're more than free to read my articles and all about this issue. So let me just let's look at the most important part, according to Marco Rubio, right? He says, simply put, we don't want a totalitarian regime, referring to China, that hates the United States to gain exclusive access to huge stores of rare earth minerals, energy, seafood, and trade in Asia. In addition, we don't want to lose access to the Philippines, which plays a crucial role in the international economy. These islands host the world's largest digital signal processing chips factory. They're also among the world's greatest producers of cobalt and nickel, critical minerals for 21st century supply chains. Our ability to maintain great power status would be severely diminished were they fall under communist control of China. Thankfully, there is no need for the Philippines to stand against China alone. Other Indo-Pacific nations are also suffer from Beijing's bullying, and if they band together, the Communist Party may become convinced that the cost of its power grabs exceed its potential benefits. Right? So in short, the U.S. has to directly be involved, and U.S. has to Philippines. In fact, it says we have to protect, right? We have to protect the Philippines, and we have to stand with the Philippines. So this is someone who is convinced that America has to take a strong stance. This is someone who's convinced that the Philippines is important. Now, I'm not Republican. I was not particularly thrilled with the direction of American domestic politics, or I have many things to say about American foreign policy. Kanina lang may pinost tayo dyan. O yan, bago na mag-ingay na naman yung mga fake na pro-independence, kunyari na sa totoo lang may mga yung paisa na akin is yung mga ibang bayaran na vloggers, kunyari pa-patriotic. Alam naman natin saan galing yung nila, di ba? Alam mo, kung totoong patriotic ka, yan ang gagawin mo. You will question any sort, alright? Any sort of kupal comment, di ba? Speaking of kupal comment, di ba? Yung mga kupal na dinadown lang ng Pilipinas. So actually, kagabi, no? Alam mo na, nagtitrip-trip lang tayo sa Twitter, Alam mo, kung totoong naniwala ka talaga sa independence ng bansa mo, or sa totoong naniwala ka sa self-confidence ng bansa mo, you call out all sorts of nonsense, whether it's from China or from the US. So, kagabi may nagtitweet na dyan na parang, yung China, ganito, ganyan. Tapos, serious question, how are British and Americans not embarrassed to lecture the world on human rights? Tapos sabi ko, well, more serious questions, how does China, Russia lecture the Ukrainians, Vietnamese, the Philippines of this world on mutual respect and sovereignty? So, yung mga pro-China shield na yan, immediately I called them out. But, you should also call out the ones from the other side na nag-feeling na kung sino sila. Nalala ko mga medyo pagka-neocon na ewan naman ganun. Okay. Ay nako, 'di ba? So for me, eto So we have to be very clear, if once Trump becomes the president and all, wag naman tayo maging tuta lang ng America and all of that. So nagmamaganda naman yung mga Amerikano diyan, ito mayabang tong isang to Ito tong isang to. Sabi niya, without the US, China could have taken over the Philippines and Taiwan, for example, long ago. Is that what you want? Yung mga kabubuhan ng sinasabi, parang as if naman parang, wow, US knight in shining armor. Oh, wow, kawawa kami without you. Oh, wow. Okay. Sabi ko, wait. Sino ulit ang colonize ng Pilipinas? Well, I don't want to, obviously, first colonize. I'm assuming compared to if China indeed is colonizing us. Pero more than that, pag-usapan din natin, guys. Alright? Before Magellan, there was no such thing as a coherent collective Philippines. In fact, Philippines comes from the name King Felipe. But, the Americans colonized us. And sometimes they don't even acknowledge it. So you call that out also, yung mga yabang na Amerikano na style na gano'n. As if naman, parating feeling knight in shining armor, hindi naman tayo tinulungan nung mischief-free Scarborough siya gano'n. So, now, that doesn't mean useless yung alliance. That means you make the most out of the alliance. Yun po yung sinasabi natin. So, pagdating kay Trump, dapat siguraduhin ng Philippine government na hindi lang sila maging sunod-sunuran, na hindi sila bibigay lang under pressure and all. Because I won't be surprised if the Trump administration will push aggressively for the Philippines to follow a certain line, especially against China and also vis-a-vis Taiwan. So those are the important things that we have to keep in mind. All right? Okay. Now, let's go to the next part of this conversation. Very interesting, amazing. Amazing conversation. Wonderful conversation. O, iwan troll dyan. Kaysa kayo mag-comment kayo ng ewan dyan. Makinig kayo. Okay, ito. So, kanina, within 24 hours, actually, nagkaroon tayo ng clarity dito. Unang-una, the ICC rejected rejected yung appeals or actually yung questioning of the jurisdiction of ICC. So ito yung very similar dun sa nakita natin panon ni Digong at saka yung mga ka-DDS natin. No, even BBM to now at least officially says na ICC has no jurisdiction, whatever, as if naman, diba? The Philippine Supreme Court was absolutely clear na may residual jurisdiction ang ICC at the very least doon sa mga krimen na nangyari nung panon na at least kasama tayo sa ICC when we ratified this Rome Statute and joined the ICC. All right, this was from 2011 essentially to 2019 when naging effective yung ating exit from the ICC, right? So, ang tanong naman ngayon is, kamusta naman ang ICC? Kasi sobrang bagal ng ICC kung sa totoo lang, no? Kung sa totoo lang, sobrang bagal-bagal ng ICC because ang tagal na itong mga kaso na pupunta, in-expect na natin na before the end of this year, something big will happen. And then alam din natin na ang laki ng pushback ng United States, ang laki ng pushback of course ng mga key allies of Israel dito sa ICC. As we discussed, Karim Khan is also dealing with some allegations, etc. Now, Justice Carpi said na we should be realistic and expect some delays here and there. Pero in fairness naman kay Senator Trillanes, he seems optimistic because sa kanyang palagay naman, tuloy-tuloy yung momentum. So, ang question dito is, how are we gonna read into this latest development whereby ICC has gone after one of the most powerful and influential leaders in the world? Because alam naman natin, Republicans and Netanyahu are very, very close friends. And maraming mga Republican senators, including the incoming Republican Senate President, have threatened ICC, strongly stand by Netanyahu, etc. The fact that ICC has gone forward in spite of all that pressure and counter pressure and whatever, and also things that we can expect under a Donald Trump 2.0 presidency, a very close relationship with Bibi among others, ginawa pa rin nila yan. So kung ikaw ay Digong na hindi mo maasahan si Trump, hindi ko alam ba't nila maasahan si Trump to begin with. Kung ikaw si Digong, right? Kung ikaw si Bato, kaysa magmamaganda ka ngayon at mag-feeling ka na kung sino ka ngayon, tingnan mo yung reality. If ICC really wants to go, they can go. Right? And, in fact, there's even more reason for ICC to go after Digong or Bato or these kinds of people is because, yes, realistically, malabo na ma-arrest talaga yung mga Putins or the Netanyahus of this world. Alright? They're heads of state. They're powerful. They come from military power nation. Right? But, Digong is not the head of state anymore, right? And the head of state right now is BBM. If the BBM administration says we're willing to cooperate if the Interpol issues a warrant of arrest in behalf of ICC, then anong hanash nila? 'Di ba? Essentially, ano pa bang inaasahan nyo? So, kaya sabi ko, be critical thinkers. Kaysa maging kayo dyan, kaysa maging fanatiko tayo na nung sinasabi, nung pinapakinggan para lang hindi masaktan yung feelings nyo dahil binoto nyo kung sino-sinong dyan. Tingnan niyo naman yung reality. Now, yes, it didn't happen September. It may not happen December. It may not happen until next year, September. But that's the direction of the wind, right? So, it looks like ICC doesn't care about international pressure or geopolitical repercussions. So, it looks like ICC is willing to stand its stand on its feet, right? If it believes that it has sufficient evidence and all of that. If anything, Duterte gave him even more evidence dun sa yabang and hubris niya during the latest hearing. So on that note, I'll keep it there, guys. There was more that I want to discuss, pero balikan ko yung ibang trabaho natin. Kailangan ko patapusin yan. It was a very long day, a lot of things. Yun, medyo Tama natin back-to-back na ginawa. Meron din, by the way, shoutout dyan. Kanina kasama natin si Sir Ronald Llamas. Doon naman sa first episode namin together on One News TV5 naman. Eto, Safe House. Safe House. Kung ano na naman pinag-usapan natin, including Donald Trump, including Isko, including kung sino-sino yung mga tumatakbo dyan sa Manila, whatever. Yan, yung mga mahilig mag-libel, mag-marathon. Okay, anyways. Alright, I'll keep it there. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. I'm asking asking Ronald if tomorrow or Saturday we can tuloy pa rin natin RRM tonight kasi busy lahat dahil sa Gilas Pilipinas. Congratulations again. Greatest team in the world. Team Cone. Team Cone. Amazing guy. Amazing guy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Millions and millions. Millions and millions. Alright. Thank you very much. And talk to you soon. Booyakasha.